Hello, everybody. I think you're looking at beautiful slides from Myrtha Pool, a little show. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining today's webinar on Myrtha Pools and how they apply to the condominium market. Myrtha is one of, if not, you'll hear more about them, the leading companies that we've found that do stainless steel pools in this design. It's a fantastic system. We've been in this industry a long time. Live North is now Canada's largest athletic recreation facility supplier. We have a Aquatics division, which is born out of the people remember Superior Pool Spa and Leisure. That was the genesis of our company, and since then we've expanded through acquisition into an athletics division, which are an exclusive distributor for Life Fitness and Woodway Canada and a few other products. And we've got offices right across Canada as far as representation across Canada. We have an amenities division, which we manage over 75 different facilities, corporate, college, with, again, staffing right across Canada, pretty well every province in Canada. And they've got a digital platform and a virtual platform, which have just taken off in the last 6 months, and we've introduced them into the high-rise residential market. The King Set building down at 99 Gerrard is going to be our first live experience building using that digital platform that's tying into all the equipment in the area. So it's a pretty exciting time for us. The Myrtha relationship has been a great one. We've been asked many times to get into construction of pools, or do you do anything with pools? And obviously, we don't want to be dealing with this concrete mess. And when we saw the Myrtha technology, we said, here's an opportunity. This is the best option we can think of. It's clean, it's creative, imaginative, it's everything we need when we're dealing with these buildings. So today is an introduction into that system. On the screen, I guess you can see we've got Dan Thompson, CEO for Myrtha Pools Canada. He's going to be introducing you to Myrtha. Alex Schmoll, who is the design manager for Myrtha. He's the guy that we back and forth on all the designs. It's a very clean system when we go from take your rendering, bring it into a design, back over to Europe and to Alex. He's been great. Mark Versfeld, I think, is on, yes, from Western Canada. So for the few of you that are out west, we've got 2 salespeople in British Columbia, 5 in Alberta, and they liaise with Mark on a regular basis. And then we've got Ross Middleton, who is our senior accounts manager. Actually, he oversees the aquatics sales and division. He's in the industry, a lot of experience, done many pools, lived through many headaches that you'll hear about. So I'm Brian Townsend. I'm Vice President of Sales for Live North. We've been going through some exciting times, and we're pleased to introduce you to this product line today. So please put up your hand or chat in a question. Bruce Wilson, who's our marketing manager here, he's the man running the show, so he'll see your questions come up, and we can pass it to whoever we need to get you answered. And if there's any follow-up, just say I need a follow-up, and Ross will look after you. So with all that being said, I'll pass you over to Dan Thompson to keep it going. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy.
Great. Thanks, Brian. Thanks very much. And back to the slideshow. I hope you enjoyed that slideshow, the great images of projects right around the world. Next slide, please, Bruce. Great. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Myrtha Pools, the leading stainless steel pool company. Myrtha Pools has no equivalent. It's the most exclusive and advanced technology in the swimming pool industry. It's an Italian company, head office in Castiglione near Verona. It's founded, owned, and operated since 1961 by the Coletto family and still headed by Giorgio Coletto, the founder. We have 350 direct employees and 7 subsidiaries: Switzerland, Canada, US, Brazil, Italy, Middle East, etc. Myrtha Pools prides itself on being innovative and investing in R&D, leading to constantly improving service excellence. We're very, very flexible. We have over 300 designers, engineers, and technicians on our global team, and we're experienced. Each year, we install over 1,500 pools and over 350 large commercial pools. Next slide. We trust ourselves, we're trusted partners with FINA, the world's governing body of aquatics, and over 20 national sport governing bodies, or aquatic sport governing bodies, you can see on the screen here. While our heritage is in sport, our partnership now goes beyond into the hospitality world with our preferred supplier relationship with Marriott and the Hilton brands. Next slide. go. In Canada, we are proud to say we have 77 facilities with over 130 tanks. Myrtha Pools Canada was founded in 2018 with 6 employees focused on sales development, installation support, and material warranty service. We are laser focused on providing our clients with service excellence in everything we do. Next slide, please. Here we go. No other pool manufacturing company has our breadth of knowledge. No other technology offers similar 25-year structural, or that's our buttress system, and 10-year membrane warranties. We pride ourselves on a global network of licensed installers, factory supervised build inspections, and after-service care. We even have our own pool academy that all our installers must attend to become certified. Now I'm going to let Alex explain the technology, and that's what he does, but it's important to understand that Myrtha Pools are lifetime pools, and service life in many instances has exceeded already 45 years. An expected life of stainless steel far in excess of this. So our system is capable of withstanding imposed structural loads, thermally imposed movement, deterioration from pool chemicals, ultraviolet radiation, site, weather, and seismic and service conditions. And because of all of this, as you will learn, our tanks are ideal for elevator projects where leaks and malfunctions cannot be tolerated. Next slide. So we have 4 market segments, 3 shown here: competition, hospitality, leisure, and wellness. Now, I'm not going to show you a bunch of glossy pictures of our competitive pools, but believe me, we have them. Myrtha Pools is known for its precision, enabling us to create the fastest pools in the world. From the Olympic pool in Rio to the rapid build US Olympic trial pools, we build them every 4 years and they seat 18,000 people. And then they're taken down and sold to another community. To the World Championship pools, over the last 10 years, Myrtha Pools is the gold standard in aquatic competition pools. In fact, over 145 world records have been set in Myrtha Pools to date. Frankly, it's that experience that has prepared us to become the right choice for developers in hospitality, leisure, wellness markets, segments, and more importantly, elevated. So I'll be back in a bit to talk about wellness, but right now over to Ross to talk about Myrtha versus other build approaches. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Dan. Hello, everybody, and thanks for being here. And an extra special thanks to everybody for taking 4 hours out of your busy day today to listen to the whole presentation. Of course, kidding, we'll keep it to a tight 45, respect for your time. On to the good stuff. My name is Ross Middleton. I've been involved in condo amenities on and off for about 20 years now, mainly involved in the pool side of things, and in particular, the day-to-day upkeep, operation, and renovations of these pools. Although I tend to think I've seen just about everything there is to see in a pool, I'm still surprised every week by a new question or an exciting new project such as this. So why did we decide to get into pool design and build with Myrtha Pools? Customer feedback. It's all about the customer feedback. I've been asked many times over the years if there was another option, another way to build a commercial pool other than your typical concrete pool. In the past, my standard answer was always no. Pros and cons aside, concrete was what people were familiar with and what was used. We ran into Myrtha Pools at a trade show a while back, got talking, and very quickly realized they addressed many of the common issues associated with a typical concrete pool. So this slide and the next couple slides are a comparison of Myrtha Pools compared to a concrete pool. There's some of the typical issues that I've encountered in the past on a day-to-day basis maintaining concrete pools. I'm not going to be going over every point, as most of this will be covered in greater detail a little bit later on. So I'm going to focus on the big ones that I've always come across. Waterproofing. Concrete is a single waterproof screen. Myrtha, in comparison, is a 2 waterproof screen system built within the floor system. Structure settlement. Micro movements in concrete cause cracks, which affect the waterproofing system. Cracks in concrete pools have created a whole business with crack injections and parging. If you have not had to do a Google search on this before, that's great. But if you're curious, try Googling concrete pool crack repair and see what comes up. Myrtha, due to the elastic joints in the pools, are able to absorb these micro movements. Speed of insulation. High pressure pumps are required to get the concrete up to higher levels, along with significant curing time. Myrtha panels can be carried up through a common elevator at any point in the construction process. Warranty. Warranty is typically 1 or 2 years on a concrete pool with several trades involved. It can quickly become very confusing who did what and when and who is responsible for what. Myrtha is 25 and 10. 25 on the structure and 10 years on the membrane. Maintenance. Concrete pools typically require resurfacing or repainting every 5 to 7 years. Myrtha is minimal maintenance for about 25 years. Next slide, Bruce. The weight of a concrete pool, 450 pounds for linear foot in concrete. Myrtha is 65 pounds for linear foot. Those are crazy numbers. Floor slab requirements. Concrete requires heavy structural integral slabs. Myrtha requires no additional floor slab. Now those are just some of the big ones. I glossed over those very quickly. They'll be covered in a little bit greater detail later on. So I'm going to flip this over to Alex now. Alex, take it away.
Thanks for the intro. Excuse me. Thanks for the intro, Ross. So as I was introduced, my name's Alex Schmoll, and I'm responsible for all the design. Excuse me, one more time. Design here in Canada. So let's get into it. If you'll just flip 2 slides for me, and one more. Okay, so a little bit on our technology. Our panels are made of a marine grade stainless steel that has a PVC hot calender to the face of it, and then on the back side we'll actually coat that in a very thin acrylic coating. So essentially that steel is never in contact with your pool water. Additionally, there's a protective coating that you can see, that white protective film that's applied after the manufacturing process. And that's simply there, again, as a protective coating that's used during shipment and then during the installation. So it is a modular system with widths ranging from 900 millimeters and narrower, depending on the final dimension of your pool. And then depths ranging from 0 or beach entries all the way upwards of about 3.4 to 3.6 meters deep. We work in any sort of freeform shape. What you're probably used to seeing is our competition pools, very rectilinear, but it is a misconception. We can accommodate radiuses up to about 2 inches, as tight as 2 inches. The major benefit to all this, to the modularity of the system is specifically, really is a major benefit in the elevated scenario, because all our components and accessories can be brought through a double door or through an elevator. So there's no need to crane up a big massive material or anything like that. It simply can just be brought up through manpower. Okay, just on to the next video, or the next is a video. So I'll speak to the installation here of our structure. So starting with the flat slab, stepped, or it could be slightly sloped. The key points of the system or of the structure will be laid out. Our C-channel base frame, which you see at the bottom, is then anchored into the concrete with the elevation set. Panels are then mounted with supports. Gutters are added, and then final elevations are checked along the process. So there are actually 3 stages, 3 checking elevation verifications along the way. So we're going to make sure that that's exactly as defined and as designed. So depending on the construction schedule, installation crews can either leave the site after the gutters are on and all the supports are in, for other works around the pool to be completed. And if it's the case where we can just continue on with waterproofing, then that's certainly the option, and then we'll continue to static test. So we seal these panels using our liquid PVC, as well as applying our evolution membrane to the floor. Our liquid helps, it has a mild primer in it, so it actually helps in creating that permanent bond between our panels, while the membrane extends up to the base of that panel where it's heat sealed, so you get in the end you get a watertight vessel. So we have a large catalog of gutters and skimmer styles, and we're constantly innovating these and of course customizing them per client's wishes. And again, virtually any radius we can accommodate. All our accessories come pre-located to site. We actually skipped through that part there, but so everything is pre-located. So as far as guesswork on site, it's completely eliminated. While our membrane panels are finished product, they can be left that way. You also have the ability to finish them in virtually any material. We have installs in Miami that have clad their spas in complete marble, or a pebble bright. And then again, of course, you can just, the membrane itself can be a finish. Okay, so now we'll just speak to some of our specific elevated techniques, just a few of them. So the first one here we're showing is our Myrtha double safety safety system with some nuisance drains incorporated in. This is what Ross was referring to about our double waterproofing layer. So we provide you with a primary and secondary layer of our membranes, which are then tied into the nuisance drains. And then those nuisance drains can be brought back into a mechanical space, or a storage closet where it's then hung over a detection pit or a leak detection system. Of course, that's the best route, and the other route is it could be plumbed into wastewater or something else, just eliminating the visual sign, but still having that ability to, worst case scenario, if any water was to infiltrate there, at least it gets carried out. If you'll skip to the next. This is a detail of our link plate. So this is made of the same material as our paneling and is used to provide a watertight connection between the pool edge and the surrounding deck. So that lower red, the red called the link plate, that would be that piece. And actually this is reversed. So the PVC membrane is meant to lie directly on that link plate, and then that waterproofing layer over top. But again, so it provides you a watertight connection between pool edge and your deck, but it also, because of that PVC membrane, it's flexible. So it allows to move with, it allows the pool to be somewhat independent of that perimeter deck. So you're not going to get that potential cracking if you're with your building shifting, et cetera, or not shifting, but maybe swaying with the wind, et cetera. So, and then again, it is coated in our PVC like our panel system. So it is a surface that the waterproofing can be adhered to as well, the deck waterproofing. And on to the next. And then as a rule of thumb, it is up for discussion, of course, and we are happy to mount them in the floor. But we do like to pull all our accessories into our ball panels, everything from inlets to lights to the actual bottom drains. We like to pull them into the walls. And the reason for this is it actually eliminates all the penetrations through that slab and any potential leak points. So, thinking further down the design road, you could actually build a small curb around that pool and have a secondary or a third containment system to that, because you're eliminating all those penetrations through that slab. So in the question in regards to the bottom drains, what we'll actually do is provide a gooseneck, so you're still able to drain fully drain your pool, because as you can see in the detail, it is slightly off the floor. Additionally, what this does in corridor scenario, so having everything wall mounted, is it gives you access to them after the fact. So you're not embedding it in a concrete slab or into a concrete wall. So if there's an issue with some piping down the road and you do have access to it, you can certainly get in there and fix it with little to no disrepair or demolition. Of course, even so, it's significantly less demolition than say casting it into a concrete slab or something. Okay, and then just onto the next slide. Finally, this slide is meant to sort of highlight the adaptability of our system. So as Dan mentioned, we have over 300 plus designers at our home base in Italy. That's not including the designers like myself that are spread out throughout the rest of the world. So as we work globally in over 80 countries, we are faced with a wide variety of situations and ever-changing scenarios, from full integration with infinity edge acrylics to converting structural building elements like grade beams into water features. We can achieve anything that you're after. It may sound like a selling point, but we'll certainly strive to do anything we can to achieve what you're after in the aesthetic. Okay, and on to the next. So speaking to integrated design, again, we have a design office that's located in Italy with over 300 designers, and we work in every sort of software that's out there. So from CAD to Revit to BIM modeling to virtual reality, we can create it all. But further to that, we'll offer integration. So no one knows our system better than we do. So we prefer to model it ourselves. So this slide sort of showcases that those different models and then the integration of them too. So the image on the left is the Myrtha model. The image in the middle would be the architects or the aquatic consultants model. And then on the right would be the finished model, bringing everything together. So the idea behind this is it eases the process. It eliminates double duty of work. And it streamlines the process for everyone. So if you'll just skip to the next slide, what we've done is created an Excel spreadsheet. Bruce, if you don't mind just switching to the next. There we go. This is an Excel spreadsheet that's sort of highlighted the majority if we've tried to capture all the accessories and other points that could be in a pool. Of course, this is always evolving, but what this does is help identify, locate, and quantify, and then whose responsibility it is. So again, just eliminating that the unnecessary double duty of work. And then on to the next. So speaking to lead design, if that's something that your project or that your client is searching for, we actually have a team over in Italy that's solely dedicated to this. So what we would do in the instance is connect the two parties, and then working together, we'll try and achieve as many points as we can towards your project. That said, Myrtha can achieve up to about 44 points, I believe it is, towards your project. So. Further information on that can be provided. And then just the next one. Okay, so speaking to some of our suspended pools, we'll just go through a few of our references globally. And just I'm going to highlight, we've got a number of them listed. I'll just sort of highlight some of the main interesting ones. So this is a project in Barcelona and the Grand Hotel. So it is overlooking the Gothic community. Fairly standard just as an intro, but it is skimmer on both sides, and then the two edges outwards facing towards the city are infinity edge pools. A very nice clean cut pool with some nice mood lighting in it as well. So if you'll just skip to the next, and there's some of the mood lighting. Okay. This is an interesting one. So this is a project called Bilbao in Spain. It's was designed by Philip Stark. It's actually elevated a 4th floor above a shopping mall. And if you'll skip to the next slide, these are 2 foot by 2 foot acrylic panels that are set within the floor. Again, this is all provided by us. And then underneath this is a walkway that's actually running the spine of the shopping center. So this is where people will walk down. And again, this is all on the 4th floor. So this is a nice reflecting and feature pool that we did in Aspen, USA. So it gives a nice 360 view of the surroundings. The idea behind this is just showcasing from plunge pool to leisure pool, all the way through reflecting ponds, etc. We can accommodate it, and we have technologies just to facilitate it all. And just another nice picture of it. Of course, hydro jets. We have a number of accessories in therapy and hydro that we can provide as well. This is an interesting one that was just completed a few years back. So this is Porsche Tower in Sunny Isles, Miami, Florida. This is a 121 or 124, I believe, unit condo unit development, with each one having one of our Myrtha plunge pools in it. So with the exception of the penthouses, the penthouse has a plunge pool and then a slightly larger, not quite lap pool, but we'll call it that. So anyway, the 121 units, each with one of these elevated prefabs units, and then it actually houses the mechanical system in it as well. So it's a completely independent unit, and we of course incorporated it between the structural columns. So it's using a couple hybrid of our technology. In addition, there are some podium level pools as well. If you'll just flip to the next, that are elevated. Showcasing some of our different gutter styles. We have hidden edge on the left, sort of showcasing that the water disappearing into nothing, and then some podium level pools on the backside out looking into the water. And another Sunny Isles case here. This is Muse. It's a one-off design. Again, similar idea, but was actually clad in entire marble, and it has the integral mechanical system as well that you can see in that middle picture. Integrated in between the columns, but this was again just a one-off design, so not quite like Porsche. And then we have ITC Colombo. So this is currently in construction. These are 250-meter pools with infinity edges. So an infinity edge is where that water will spill over into a gutter trough below. And so there's 2 of them spanning 50 meters between 2 buildings, and I believe it's on the 34th floor. Very interesting case, just showcasing this. I don't have the design drawings, but more just to showcase the flexibility of our system. Again, we had to overcome a number of obstacles in this, whether it be the actual installation or construction of this, because it was actually constructed on the ground and is being lifted up, but also the wind loads, because the desired effect is an infinity edge. So as soon as you introduce wind into that effect it starts to dissipate. So anyway, on to the next. And then this is just one that we do like to showcase because it's close to our home base. So this is La Fay Resort in Desenzano, Italy, just overlooking Lake Garda. It's very beautiful. It's serene, elevated, but also incorporates our infinity edge as well. Really showcasing a beautiful pool, fully tiled. And just an interesting point on this, if you go to the next slide, the client actually spent a solid year, excuse me, matching up the skyline to the pool so that they would get this seamless look. Needless to say, we're that dedicated to this as well. And then just another view of that infinity edge. Okay, so one that you may have heard of is Galaxy Macau China. I'll sort of zip through this fairly quickly. I don't want to run too long, but it is the longest elevated lazy river in the world. It's on the 3rd story of Casino, and is actually phase 2 of the project. So phase 1, you can see in the back there, is actually a wave pool. If you'll skip to the first slide, or excuse me, one more. The original was done in concrete, and they brought Myrtha in. So we used one of our technologies called Renovaction and reskinned the entire pool. So that carries our new warranty, the 25-year warranty for them, but gave them a complete watertight vessel as well. They were so pleased that they brought us on for phase 2, which was the Lazy River. Now this Lazy River is an action river. It has spray jets, water features, lighting throughout. It's really encompasses everything that a lazy river could, but additionally it has the largest, or one of the largest, acrylic spans, elevated acrylic spans in the world. So it is this one right here. It is roughly 15 feet, or excuse me, it can fit, 15 feet wide, so it fits a double inner tube through that. Of course, it is supplied by us, the housing and the frames all by us as well, so it is patented, because in the summer heats, this acrylic will expand upwards of about 2 inches. So we've patented the system to accommodate that expansion and contraction, and still keep it watertight. All right, and now finally, just some prefabricated elements that we can supply. These are really sought after and elevated because, again, they're light, and there's a significant weight savings, but also the construction. So there's no need to pour in or carve out foam in order to build this. It's prefab, so it's a couple pieces that go together and it drops in, and our panels are made to accommodate and house those fittings or those connections as well. Additionally, they can be incorporated with some hydro features as well as some accent lighting. So depending on that final look you're getting for, you can really incorporate some cool additional features. All right, and I know that was fairly long-winded, so hopefully everybody was able to grasp most of that. And of course, any questions, feel free to reach out.
Great. I think it's back to me, Dan Thompson again. I want to talk about Myrtha Wellness. So let's go to the next slide. Thanks. Myrtha Pools discovered, especially in Europe, that while people want to be fit, more and more they want to be well. Myrtha Wellness is focused on giving people an unforgettable wellness experience. Our wellness division is focused on full design integration with a focus on future management and functionality. Next slide. There we go. Myrtha Wellness is focused on 6 services with a preference in full design production installation. So consultancy, architectural design, technical design, production, installation, and after service assistance. Next slide. So our design team works with you to fully understand the client's needs and objectives. We then develop a concept drawing and support your architectural and design needs. Next slide. So working with Live North and your architect, our design team in Italy, and Alex, our design manager, will take your available space and design to your needs, maximizing functionality. We are, of course, only as good as the brief, so it's critical for us that we understand your objectives and strategic priorities. Provided you order an integrated concept, design fees are included within the price. And this is just an example of one. And the next slide here shows you some of the real life finishes to our approach. So you get a real sense from the work that we do as to what the end product will look like. And then we fully design with your assistance the project. Next slide. So this is a great example. So Villa Franca is a great example of our wellness capabilities. It's only about 30 minutes away from our factory. So when the world recovers from COVID, we'd love to host you at our factory. And you know, it's interesting, it's been a big part of our business, hosting people. And we haven't had a visitor in 6 months. So we're looking forward to having COVID go away at some point and for us to get a vaccine and move on. So Villa Franca is interesting. It's a renovated community center focused on recreation and wellness. So the facility has a lap pool, a leisure pool, and a full service wellness center, which is a wonderful value add for the community. And in Italy, if you're a Myrtha and you want to build pools in communities, you need to be a partner. So Myrtha in Italy has actually created a division to manage facilities, and they actually manage this facility. So the municipality, Myrtha, and a developer went to renovate this. This space actually was an old bowling alley that had a lap pool and a bowling alley that was converted into a leisure and wellness center. And it's very cool. So if you can make it to Italy, it's a great one to see. So this wellness center features a finished sauna, a steam room, plunge rooms, frigidarium, which is like an ice room or a snow room, and I'll show you some examples later. It's about 30 to 45 minute experience that leaves people relaxed and energized. So if you come, bring your suit. And what's really cool is that in 2021, we were building an exact replica in Candiac, which is a suburb of Montreal. And it was great. We brought the developer there. He loved the concept, and he's going to build one this coming year. Next slide. Okay, I want to talk about Myrtha technology. The next slide as well. So Myrtha has changed up spa construction, and historically spa construction utilizes EPS polystyrene panels shaved with cement mortar and reinforced with polyester mesh. And as many of you have learned, polystyrene leads to problems. Next slide. Given the open cell nature of EPS, bacterial proliferation and smells can abound. Tolerances are approximate, leading to door and windows requiring continuous adjustments. And final results are frankly often in the hands of the tiler. Next slide. Myrtha is using its patented PVC bonded modular stainless steel process for walls and ceilings. So we actually build the cabinet. All accessories are pre-manufactured for easy assembly down to the final detail. For saunas, steam baths, frigidariums, and hot and cold plunges, we use the Myrtha stainless steel buttress system to build and create this prefabricated structure. Next slide. We don't have to, this is a video, well, it's going, we might as well watch it. It's of a finished sauna, and it shows the construction of it. Now, the steam rooms are made out of our panels, and it's a little more dramatic, but this give you a good sense. So basically all you have to do is prepare the floor in the tile you wish, and everything comes modular. It all fits together. It's shipped in a container. It's put together by your installer. And there are, as an example, 15 different sizes for our saunas and steam rooms. And you get all the elements: the heater unit, the lighting, the wood or benches or water features, etc., and even the glass doors. So great concept, fits together well, and very modular. Takes the guesswork out of the build for sure. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so yeah, Myrtha is using its patented PVC bonded modular stainless steel for the walls and ceiling, as I just described. All accessories are pre-manufactured. I went through that. So play the video. Sorry, I'm on another slide. Okay. so this just talks about our system, the fact that we reduce the time to build, and then we take the stress out of putting your faith in the tiler to make sure it all fits properly. Next slide. So I'm just going to go through a series of images of our various products. So this is the steam bath. Next slide. Go through this quickly. So there are 3 different types, styles. This is the elegance. Next slide. And again, 15 different modular sizes. Comes with all the components you see, minus the flooring. The Ocean. Next slide. Fujian. Next slide. So if you can imagine it, we probably build it. Finished sauna is the elegance. Next slide. So these are made out of either hemlock, oak, or cedar. Next slide. Yeah, just give you a sense of what they look like. These are all modular. They all come in different sizes. They're all prefabricated. Come in a container. You put them together. Next slide. Okay, just give you a sense of what we do. Yeah. And this is a relax area. So this is a salt room. Next slide. So just hang on here for a second. So we supply the wall with the salt cubes and the heat unit, and then you buy separately the different lounges, and we have 8 zillion types of lounges that you can buy, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, next slide. Yeah, this is interesting. So this is a frigidarium, an ice fountain, which also comes, it's either is an ice unit or a snow unit. And at our factory, we've got a great display that has the Matterhorn in the background. So if you're in Vancouver, you could have Whistler. If you're in Calgary, you could have Lake Louise in the background, or whatever relevant. And it's so what basically you do is you splash yourself with ice, and then you go into a sensory shower and cool down. Next slide. Yeah, so just showing you some different examples of this ice fountain with different sensory showers. The plunge pool is really interesting, and there are plunge pools are sort of hot and cold systems. The water is generally 14 degrees or 15 degrees Celsius on one side, and it's 35 to 95 degrees, 35 Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit on the other side. Then this aids in rapid muscular recovery and elimination of lactic acid after intense training. So it's part of the routine that you go through in our wellness spas, and this is very, very, very refreshing. Next slide. Yeah, so let's, next slide again. So these are a whole series of different styles of loungers that we produce and ship. Granulax 2, different looks and textures. There's 5. Again, there's his and hers loungers, etc. So we have a whole series of different products. So I've just touched the surface. This shows you some of all of the products that we produce. So steam baths, finished saunas, salt rooms, cold experiences. Next slide. Experiential showers, and there's a whole series of these, and it's very interesting with the mood lighting. Connect Pass, which is your plunge pools. UCube, which this is an outdoor wellness pod, basically, that we have several variations of, and the relaxed beds, which I just talked about. So go to the next slide, and we're almost done. So, so what is the point of difference for Myrtha in the wellness area? So certainly, it's a resistant structure. The product arrives finished, ready to assemble. We have a 25-year warranty on the structure. The assembly, we do the assembly above the tiled floor, so it takes all that work off the plate of other trades. It's easy to maintain. There's a huge reduction in bacteria and smell, and there's long-term cost savings from the efficiency of our units. So while I've just scratched the surface of our wellness offering, we look forward to taking a deep dive with you on our wellness, elevated, and leisure product offerings. And one of the things I'd like to suggest, if there's interest, is to do another webinar with our lead wellness designer in Italy to take you through a series of case studies to better understand our product offering and development process. And his name is Stefano, and he's probably built 30 wellness centers all through Europe. He's a wealth of knowledge and has a fantastic series of case studies that really give you an idea of this developing trend. So that's just really to give you a snippet of wellness. It's a new product area for Myrtha, or the newest of our product areas. So thank you very much. And I'd like to pass it back to Ross.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for taking some time out of your day and listening to this presentation. So everybody that was here should have already got a LinkedIn message from me. You can reach out to us that way. If you haven't, you will shortly. My email's up on the screen right now. If anybody has any specific questions, or if you have future projects coming up you'd like to get some information on, reach out to me and we can get things going from there. So as promised, we kept it to a tight 45. I think we're even finishing up 5 minutes early. So we'll wrap it up here. This presentation will be available on YouTube a little bit later. And we'll send you along some info for how to access that. If there's somebody else in your organization that maybe wants to see this, if you have some design guys that it might be of interest, forward it along. So again, thanks for being here, everybody. And we're going to end it here. And we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, everyone.